Raj,
What's up?
we gonna fix the heat or anything in here? I mean, it's fucking winter. It's fucking cold.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. The weather is fucking crazy today.
I left this shit here last night. It still froze.
Yeah, dude, I feel you. You know, but business is slow. I mean, maybe if someone would come in and rent a movie or buy something off of Teespring, we could pay to get this heat fixed. But we're just gonna have to suffer through it, man. Well, it's only like 6 months out of the year.
Well, why don't we just, why don't you let me try to fix the heat?
You?
I could do it.
Yeah. What do you know about fixing this Stone Age furnace?
I got the tools.
You really think you can fix it?
I got it.
What's the worst that could happen?
I'm gonna go fix it. I'll be back. I got this shit.
All right, man. I guess hey, while he's fixing that furnace, we could probably just go ahead and talk about a movie. I don't know if he knows what he's doing. All right, well, hello, internet fans. Welcome to 3B Video. I'm your host, Rotten Roger DeMarco. And today, we're going to talk about Michael Cooney's 1997 film, Jack Frost. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen this Christmas staple, here is your plot synopsis. Jack Frost is a serial killer who has eluded capture for a very long time until a small town sheriff accidentally stumbles upon him, catches him, and sends him to death. On the way to his execution, his prison transport bus crashes into a genetics truck filled with chemicals that melt him and turn him into a mutant killer snowman. Some science is involved in there. I don't know what it means. All I know is he's a mutant killer snowman. And that's basically it. Super rad. But before we get into my overall thoughts of the film, first, let's take a look at
Ryan Rogers! Splatter facts.
we have 12 dead bodies. We have Shannon Elizabeth's side boob. Not enough real boob. We have gratuitous exposition. 1. Melty mutation into a snowman. Obligatory bully beheading. Puddle POV. Discount Richard Reilly. 1. Snowman carrot rape. 1. False finale. Projectile snowman puke. Antifreeze oatmeal. And we have a standard sequel setup. The methods of death include but are not limited to broken neck, car crash, Pez dispenser, sled decapitation, axe-handled deep throat, decorated, car smoosh, icicled, bashed, and frostbite. I'm gonna catch frostbite in this motherfucking store. All right, so now on to my overall thoughts of this film. This is one of those strange little direct-to-video horror films that I kind of stumbled across while perusing the video store aisles when I was in my youth, in my younger days. This is the type of film you're either really into or you're just not gonna give it a chance. If the idea of a mutant killer snowman having his own film appeals to you, then you were the type that was gonna rent this. And you were gonna laugh and you were gonna have a good time. If it didn't appeal to you, it sat on the shelf. This is one of those movies that just called out to me when I saw it on the shelf when I was younger. I had to rent this movie. I had to see what was going on with this film. It's sort of a yearly tradition now that every Christmas I throw this film on and I just have a good time with it. I love this movie. I think that this movie is kind of campy in all of the best ways. The deck was stacked against this movie. You know, it had a ridiculously low budget. The place where they were filming happened to go through sort of a heat wave, so there was no actual snow. So they filmed in a place with no real snow, and they put a lot of snow blankets down or foam or whatever, shaved paper, coconut, whatever they could do to make it look like there was actually snow everywhere. That sort of adds to the charm of this film. Just the fact that it's this cheap, little, hilarious movie. It's just this campy little film that sat on the shelf and just begged you to take it home. And if you were the type of person to give it a chance, you immediately fell in love with it. That's the type of film that this is. It's got a handful of really creative kills. The cast is all a bunch of unknowns with the exception of Shannon Elizabeth, but this was her first film, so she was also an unknown. With this type of film, it helps not having any recognizable faces because you can just kind of lose yourself in the story however absurd that story may be. I don't know about you guys, but I can honestly say that this is the first and only mutant killer snowman subgenre horror film that I've ever seen. Granted, they made a sequel, yes, but I'm not talking about the sequel to this film. I'm talking about this idea being very silly and very original. It's just a fun movie that everyone needs to see. I suppose if you know of any other snowman movies, let me know in the comments, because that's a weird subgenre I would like to explore. You would reference this movie, you will quote this movie. Super silly, awesome, fun time. And Vinegar Syndrome did a really good job of cleaning this up, because the VHS and just the DVD have a very cheap look about them because it is a lower budget film. But Vinegar Syndrome takes great pride in restoring all of these things, and this edition looks like $1 million. And the thing about this weird slasher subgenre of Christmas horror is that all of these films tend to have some form of morality tale involved. That most of the people that get killed in a Christmas horror film are just the worst of the worst. And in this film, that is mostly true, but there are a handful of victims in this film that you're like, I'm not sure what they did wrong, but there is this air of naughty or nice, behave, or the mutant killer snowman will take you out type of vibe to this film. Despite the fact that this budget is minimal, I really enjoy the design of the killer snowman. At some times, it does look like it's carved out of styrofoam or whatever, but under the right lighting, it can pass as a believable living snowman. I think that the design is cool. I like the fact that he can turn into water, be steam, or be a snowman. As a killer, he has his very own set of rules, which I've talked about many times on this channel, that I feel like that is important when you're creating an icon, is that they need to have a very specific set of powers or skills. They need to have a type of weapon that is unique to them. They need to have very specific weaknesses and a backstory that makes us want to watch them kill people. And Jack Frost has all of those things. It just didn't have the biggest budget in the world. One of the things that is very weird in this movie to me is Shannon Elizabeth's character. She's very horny. She's DTF and she's ready to make it with her boyfriend, and her brother has just been killed in this sledding accident, so she takes off with her boyfriend, and because she suspects the sheriff's son of being responsible for killing her younger brother, she decides to break into the sheriff's house and have sex with her boyfriend there. I don't know the logic. I don't really understand. I don't know that I'm supposed to care. All I know is that it's weird. They just break into this house, they're gonna have some champagne, she's gonna take a bath, and then they're gonna fuck in the sheriff's bed. Or maybe fuck in the sheriff's son's bed to be like, haha. I don't know. All I know is that's a strange piece to the puzzle that is Jack Frost. It intrigues me. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think that's a very odd thing to do. Moments after your brother has been beheaded by a sled beheading, you're gonna go break into the sheriff's house and fuck your boyfriend.
Damn.
I do like the character Jack Frost. I like the actor who plays Jack Frost, Scott McDonald. He does a great job as being this very vulgar, crass snowman's voice, but he does a good job as playing the character at the beginning of the film also. But the one thing that is noticeable to me is that this actor seems to be doing his very best Brad Dourif impression the entire film. Every line that Jack Frost kind of says, and even the way that he screams, is very reminiscent of Brad Dourif. It's like the director pulled him to the side and said, "Have you seen Child's Play? Do that. Just be Charles Lee Ray." Beyond similar. It's borderline plagiarism, but I love it all the same. But in my personal opinion, this movie is 100% popcorn as fuck. Because again, I don't know that I've ever said this sentence, but it is a movie about a mutant killer snowman doing a Brad Dourif impression who rapes Shannon Elizabeth in a bathtub with a carrot. Watch this movie. That's all there is to it. I love it. I suppose I should probably get going because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. so why not me? Right? Hey, Evil. How's that furnace coming?
This should probably not have been removed.
What'd you do?
I feel better already.
Is it working now?
Yeah, it's fixed, man. Don't you feel the heat?
Is there supposed to be smoke coming out of the vents right now?
All right, I'm going to lunch.
Hey, no. It's literally 8 o'clock. You just got here. Wait, do you smoke gas? Hey.
Peace.
Hey.